Well, Sheppy, should we show them what you've done? Oh, look at them. They're little Bob clones. Oh my goodness. You did such a nice job. Yet another example of the returning stability in my farm ecosystem. I have cranes down here. So, those white birds, somebody told me in the comments, they're cattle egrets, and I've been seeing them occasionally. They come and go. This is the first time I've had cranes right on the farm, and I'm sorry about the zoom, but they are far away, and I don't want to startle them because they look like they're having a good time. It's a good sign. I like it. Yeah, look at that. Aren't they cool? Oh, I got too close. Hopefully they'll come back. Well, we have some grass. You can see it's coming up to their bellies. I kind of screwed up and drove the tractor out there to bring the water wagon out there, and it was way too wet, so I'm gonna have to throw some seed down on that. But look at all the grass they have. It's a nice looking sight. Starting to see some bags on the cattle, so hopefully we'll have some calves in upcoming videos. Well, it's about 5:40 in the morning. Looks like we have a new set of twins. After the colossal screw up that was yesterday, it's nice to see some wins. It sure is beautiful out. But we're sitting at like 70 lambs right now, and I've absolutely lost track in the chaos of what's happened in the last week or so. It really got away from me, but we're gonna persevere and move forward. Nice set of twins. This is was that number 39? So this is her second lambing. It looks like they've been here for just a short amount of time. They're licked off nicely. We got to get them moved across. You can see where the rest of the animals are. And they're nursing. You can tell they definitely just got licked off because there's flies kind of gooping on them. But we're just going to move them across, go get some water. So we had 2 ewe lambs that surprisingly both had twins, and then this is a second year mother that had twins last night, so 6 more. It just keeps adding up. I've kind of lost count, to be honest. The chaos of this year has really gotten away from me, and it's given me a good idea of the some of the systems I need to put in place to not lose track, particularly around rotation management, and just being Johnny on the spot when it comes to tagging and tracking, so that, you know, I got about 2/3 of the way through lambing and I just lost a hold of the momentum. It's like riding a bike down a steep hill. It just got away from me and I couldn't pedal anymore. So what we're gonna have to do is pull the whole flock into the corral once it's weaning time, so that'd be like around beginning of July, and just get a head count of what we have, identify any potential rams that we want to keep and sell, and then, you know, track what we have for the rest for meat and for breeding. All right, let's get going. Well, as we're staring at this giant pile of sheep and lambs, I figured now's as good a time as any to talk about a major goof up that I managed to make. You know, I'm not the world's most experienced sheep guy out there, but I've done it for a number of years now. When we were on the other side of the farm up there on the hill, I just was being thoughtless, and essentially what happened was I forced, even though I knew there was about 5 new mothers out there that had just had lambs that day, I forced them in a big U-turn and a long hike move. And, you know, it's one thing to move them down the way one spot, right? Like we're doing right now. We were there, now we're here, and then we'll come this way. But I forced them into the most complex move that I have on the farm, just because I was, that's what you do, right? And which is foolishness. And, well, what happened? Well, I had a bunch of new mothers walk off of their lambs. So now I have 3 bottle lambs, and thankfully only one of them's a girl, I think. And I have 4 bottle lambs, sorry. And then I also had 2 that I didn't see that had been abandoned, and they were dead the next morning. They didn't get their colostrum or something like that. So it's an expensive mistake, and it's just kicking myself. I almost didn't talk about it, but I felt like it was worth mentioning. And I remember I was watching it all happen. I was in a dark mood, and my son, who's kind of helping me, he's joining in the farming now. He said, well, I won't do that. After he watched me do it, he'll never do that. So I guess something good came out of it. But what I should have done is just recognize that there was no move that was going to happen that day, and gone and gotten some hay out of the barn, and just chilled out a little bit. Sometimes I get a real bug up my ass, and I do impatient, foolish things, and this time I paid the price. Now, that being said, I thought about it. This has been almost a week now. I reflected on it. I've kind of gotten over it, and I've been much more patient and cautious in my moves as I've had new lambs. So no more mistakes like that will be made this year, unless we'll see how forgetful I am next year. But you can see some of the earlier lambs are getting quite sizable. They're really growing well. I mean, he's just a stud of a guy. I think that's a guy. I'd have to go look at my book. But we're just weathering through this blitz of lambing, and it has just been non-stop. I don't know how else to say it. We're almost done. I figure we have, and I kind of lost count, to be honest, but I'm estimating about 70 lambs out here, maybe a little more. And I'm expecting we're just going to have the trailers, the stragglers, the ewe lambs that didn't quite go into heat. When the rams first went in. But the grass is really coming forward. The sun is hitting hot. The ground is warming up, and it's growing in earnest to the point where we're really moving fast across the farm. Like, I'm zipping across. Normally, this strip that I'm in, I'd take 5 to 7 days, depending on the time of the year, and I'm just zipping across it, skimming it in 4 days. All the lambs have a ton of vigor. The mothers are holding their condition well because I'm giving them as much grass as they can possibly manage. And one thing I'll say is, if you guys recall, Ann's milk cow was pretty darn skinny because she was really getting bullied by the other cows. So her moving into the sheep flock has really done wonders to let her put some condition on. I mean, look at how fat her rumen is right here. Oh, and she's so tame. She's got nice wrinkles, nice coat, beautiful color. And she's just getting big and fat now because she's only competing with little sheep and not getting thrown around by the big cows. All right. We have an old Sheppy dog pulled up here. As you can see, she's got milk in. She's pretty uncomfortable, breathing kind of heavy. Been turning around, circling, digging, adjusting her little nest. And so we think we're going to have puppies either today or tomorrow. She doesn't look real thrilled. She's been laying down more flat out instead of curled up like a dog usually does. So we'll have to keep an eye and show you guys what we got. So we think she's done. We're not certain, but it's been about 2 hours since she's had a puppy. She only had 3, but I'll be honest, after the mess that we had last time, I'd much rather have 3 healthy pups than 12, and then we end up with 2 out of 12. That was a disaster. So we're just giving these puppies, they're going to be able to nurse as much as they like, and we're giving her all sorts of food, and she's such a good mother. Aren't you, huh? Here, look at that. Oh, yeah. And she's nice with me. She doesn't fight me over She doesn't fight me over touching them. And you're just pretty proud of yourself, aren't you? So Ann and I talked, we're going to keep one so that Bob's not running solo. Next time she has puppies, he's running solo while she's pregnant. And so we're going to keep one and sell 2 of them. So if you want one, or you know somebody who wants one, they'll be ready in about two months or so to go.